Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage today of today's high school varsity baseball contest between the visiting Flyers of Framingham High School and the hosting Brookline High Warriors. Happy to be back on the mic covering Brookline baseball once again. I know I missed the last couple of games, missed the Needham game that had been rescheduled due to a rainout because the day it got rescheduled to, I was covering another game. And then I missed Monday's game against Newton North. I unfortunately came down with a bad case of vertigo over the weekend, and it just wasn't safe for me to drive until I was well again. But fortunately, I'm feeling much better now, and so here I am back at Warren for some more Brookline baseball. This one should be a fun one today between these two Bay State Conference opponents. Brookline coming into this game with a record of 3-3, as they've had an equal amount of ups and downs throughout the season so far. Meanwhile, Framingham still searching for their first win of the year, coming into this game at 0-6. Last year, Brookline swept the regular season series against Framingham, but only by the slimmest of possible margins, winning both regular season matchups by just a one-run score. As in the first game, Brookline, I believe, got a comeback 5-4 win over the Flyers. That was actually Hugh Bollinger's big high school debut, where he got the win on the mound with 4 shutout innings of relief, and then got the walk-off hit in the 7th. And then much later in the season, in fact, I think it might have been the regular season finale over at Parsons Field, Brookline managed to prevail in a narrow 4-3 win, where this time Charlie Engelman was the hero out of the bullpen in that game, earning a save with 3 shutout innings of relief. So while on paper, just based on win-loss record, Brookline with a big advantage in this one, last year's results certainly say that Brookline should not underestimate this Flyers team, because they have had some tight back-and-forth contests just dating back to last year. And of course, for today, we want to thank our local sponsor for this broadcast, Esch Dental. You can see their nice logo there in the bottom middle of your screen. Esch Dental is located right in Coolidge Corner. You can book your next dental appointment with local dentist and BHS baseball parent Dr. Brandon Esch for the non-corporate personalized dentistry our community deserves. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eschdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to easchdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. That link and phone number can be found in the description section down below. And you can also find a link and phone number for our local charity spotlight for today, the Brookline Education Foundation. The Brookline Education Foundation raises funds to help promote growth and innovation among Brookline educators, growth that can then be passed on to the children of this community. For over 40 years, this foundation has given out a variety of grants across the educational landscape. These include Idea Lab grants for teachers that want to present their students with new and exciting projects, and teacher grants for educators that want to further develop their own skills to bring to the classroom. Many initiatives which have become staples in the public schools of Brookline started as BEF grants. They support literacy education training, new methods in STEM education, project-based learning, mentoring of new principals and superintendents, and collaborative work around diversity, equity, and inclusion, just to name a few. Visit brooklinefoundation.org or call 617-232-3846 to find out how you can help support our town's educators and, through them, our students. Once again, that's brooklinefoundation.org or call 617-232-3846. for 6. And that information can once again be found in the description section down below. Be sure to check out the Brookline Education Foundation. Such a worthy cause, to invest in our education in this town. I know if you're reading headlines these days, whether they be at the local town level or at the federal level, the word around education just always seems to be about budget cuts and struggles to make things happen. And it's always good to find places where you can invest, not just in keeping things going, but even in continuing to push education to be better than ever before. So certainly a worthy cause. And with that, on that note, I'm going to hop off my political soapbox and get back to the baseball here, because we got some starting lineups to go through. And first, we're going to go through the roster, the starting lineup for the visiting Framingham High Flyers, who you can see on the field wrapping up their pregame warm-ups. Leading off for Framingham today, the first baseman, number 22, Ryan McAuliffe. Batting second, the second baseman, number 5, Noah Sonnenberg. Batting third, the right fielder, number 8, Pete May. Batting cleanup, the shortstop, number 6, Jack Maud. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 20, Colin Walsh. Batting sixth, the center fielder, number 7, Jackson Donato. Batting seventh and starting on the mound for the Flyers today, number 4, Michael Chagnon. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 23, Franco Saglimbeni. And batting ninth, the left fielder, number 1, Charlie Jessman. Just playing the field for Framingham today, the third baseman, number 11, Carlos Morales. That's the starting lineup for Framingham as they wrap up their pregame warm-ups. And now, after one last meeting with the umpires at home plate, Brookline will then take the field for their final warm-ups before the top of the first inning. Let's go through the roster for the hosting Brookline High Warriors. Leading off for Brookline today, the center fielder and co-captain, number 9, Elias Brendel. Batting second, the second baseman, number 14, Hugh Bollinger. Batting third, the catcher, number 8, Felix Hom. Batting cleanup, the shortstop, number 22, Jimmy DiPaolo. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 21, making his 2025 season debut, Adam Rosenblatt. Batting sixth, the pitcher slash designated hitter, number 18, Eli Hoffman. Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 20, Connor Fitzgerald. Batting eighth, the third baseman and co-captain, number 15, Owen Hoffman. And batting ninth, the left fielder, number 5, Devin Chin. Head coach of the Brookline High baseball team is Brendan O'Connor, with assistant coaches Colin King, Ed Clancy, and Ryan Nealon. So those are our starting lineups for today. And as always, folks, I encourage audience participation. If you're enjoying the video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming Brookline baseball broadcasts. And as always, I encourage any comments that you might have while watching this. I encourage you to leave them either in the live chat here on YouTube, or if you're not comfortable or not able to access the live chat, then you can also send me an email. You can see my email at the bottom right corner of your screen. It can be almost anything. It could be something as simple as saying "Go Brookline" or "Go Framingham." We don't care which team you're rooting for. We just appreciate fans bringing the good vibes and showing support for their favorite teams and their favorite student athletes. Maybe you're tuning in to watch a family member or a friend and you want to give them a shout out by name in the live chat. That's always fun. A lot of times we hear about people tuning in from all over the country. I'm sure we're going to hear about some folks tuning in from all over, from just say from Groton, New York to San Diego, California, just to throw out a couple of random cities. Not at all, not at all a typical, not at all a typical set of towns that we hear of. And then also on the more important side, if you notice anything wrong with the live stream technically, either from the audio standpoint or from the video standpoint, sometimes what I hear in my headset might be different from what you guys hear watching at home. Like for right now, my audio sounds just a teensy bit off in my headset, but typically when that happens, it sounds okay for you guys. But if it doesn't, please speak up and say something. And same thing if the video is skipping or cutting out or anything like that. And then, as always, if I'm pronouncing any names wrong, and I especially encourage this for any Framingham fans tuning in, I encourage you to correct me in the live chat. You're not bothering me. You're helping me. You're not being a burden. Don't think, oh, I don't want to bother him. It's okay even if he gets it wrong. I prefer to be corrected. I prefer to give these student athletes the honor of getting their names correctly. And on that note, let's talk about one of those student athletes who's going to be starting on the mound for Brookline today, number 18, Eli Hoffman, making his third start of this 2025 season, his first year on the varsity team. His previous two outings, he's had two starts. He's got a 1-0 win-loss record. He's pitched 8 2/3 innings over the course of those first two starts, so averaging about 4 1/3 per start, which isn't too bad. He's got an ERA of 3.23, a whip of 1.38, and 11 strikeouts. And he'll be getting us started here as we get ready to start the top of the first inning. Leading off for Framingham, the first baseman, number 22, Ryan McAuliffe. Ooh, gets beaned on the first pitch of the game. Not how you expect to start a game, and certainly for Brookline, not how they want to start a game. One pitch, one base runner. But Hoffman's going to try and shake that one off as he now faces the next batter, the second baseman, number 5, Noah Sonnenberg. That first pitch comes in low for ball 1. Sonnenberg didn't appear in either of last year's games against Brookline, as that one misses for ball 2. Hoffman having a little bit of trouble getting into his groove and finding the zone. 3 pitches outside the strike zone to start. And they caught the runner trying to take off. Throw down to second, though, is high, and McAuliffe takes second. Eli Hoffman noticed Ryan McAuliffe taking off for second. Seemed to have him on the pickoff throw, but McAuliffe got a great jump towards second. Didn't hesitate one bit, and the throw to second was high, which made it a slower tag process. They show bunt pull away, and it's a wild pitch, and McAuliffe is going to take third on the wild throw. A rough start to the inning for Hoffman and the Brookline defense as now they pull in all 4 infielders onto the grass, but it's going to be a 4-pitch walk to Noah Sonnenberg. So 2 base runners on without so much as a swing from the Framingham hitters. And they now have runners at the corners with nobody out. And now coming up, the right fielder, number 8, Pete May. Sonnenberg, a likely candidate to try and steal second here, with the fielders focused more on McAuliffe at third. First pitch from Hoffman is outside for ball 1. That one is also going to miss. Ball 2. It's now 7 straight pitches that have missed the strike zone for Hoffman as he's struggling to find his control. And there is the first strike of the day. 2-1 now, the count to May. May did play in the first game against Brookline last year. He went 0 for 2 with a walk, did not appear in the second game. Sonnenberg now taking off as the pitch low. They're going to go to second, and he slides just around the tag. So another successful steal. They do not send the runner home, which is surprising there. I'm not sure, but I think the pitch was called a strike. I think he caught the low corner, but I'm not entirely sure. Might be 3-1. That one fouled off. So it's either 2-2 or 3-2 now. I think it's actually 3-2, but I'm not entirely sure. And this one's dribbler caught by Hoffman, holds the runners, throw to first for 1 out. They caught the runner between second and third. They're going to get a double play here. They don't even need to. Oh, they're chasing the lead runner. Oh my gosh, pure chaos here in the first inning. He can't go back to the bag. Or wait, are they going back to? What's happening? Is this all legal? The tag is applied. They get the runner between second and third. All that was missing from that play was the Benny Hill theme. What was that? So, to recap what the heck just happened, May grounded out to the pitcher. McAuliffe, the lead runner, smartly held at third because Hoffman had the ball and was ready to throw home. But Sonnenberg eagerly took off for third and was caught between the bags. It's a wild pitch here, and the runner holds. And so because of that, Sonnenberg was caught between second and third, runs down to third. As he gets to third, McAuliffe tries to take off for third so that Brookline doesn't get an easy tag on Sonnenberg. They start chasing McAuliffe. They get him in the pickle. They chase him back to third base. He goes back to third base, and then Sonnenberg has to go back to second. Almost makes it back impressively as another near wild pitch there by Hoffman. But they do apply the tag to Sonnenberg. So double play, 2 outs. McAuliffe still at third. Now batting is the shortstop, number 6, Jack Maud, who is facing a 2-0 count. Back on track. And another miss, ball 3. And it's going to be another 4-pitch walk. Third free pass of this first inning for Eli Hoffman. And now there's going to be an infield meeting here as they try and talk to Hoffman, get him back in the groove so he can start hitting the zone. We do have some notes in the live chat already from Alan Rosenblatt saying, "Hi, Jesse, Ellen, and Alan Rosenblatt, Adam Rosenblatt's grandparents tuning in. Go Brookline." Mary Walker saying, "Yes, Grandma from Groton, New York, cheering on the Brookline Warriors." And Greg Hoffman saying, "Let's go Brookline. Glad to have you back broadcasting, Jesse." Thanks for all the kind words, folks. Brookline trying to get out of this early jam here in the top of the first. 2 down runners at the corners for with Walsh at the plate as he swings and misses there. Strike 1. That one hits the inside corner nicely for strike 2. Hoffman seems to have some control of his breaking balls now as he's painted the corners nicely on the first 2 strikes. Runner taking off for second. That's a low ball. They're going to throw down to second, and the tag is dropped. Runner's taking off for home. They're going to throw home not in time, and the runner's going to score. They throw back to second, and again, tag doesn't get there, so Framingham will get on the board first on the double steal there. And I think after McAuliffe opted not to go home when Sonnenberg took second, I think he was like, okay, this time I'm definitely going. And he had definitely decided to go when the ball popped out of the fielder's glove trying to make the tag there. And there is strike 3. 1 pitch later, and they get out of the inning. So Eli Hoffman was just 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning scot-free. Framingham does manage to get a run across on the double steal. But Brookline able to prevent what could have been a much worse inning. I mean, when your pitcher gives up a first pitch hit by pitch and 2 4-pitch walks, you know, that's a recipe for a far worse inning than it was for Brookline. And now we'll see if their offense can answer back. It'll be the top of the Brookline order. Brendel, Bollinger, and Hom due up against Framingham's starting hurler, Michael Chagnon. 2 lefties facing off on the mound for today. One more note in the live chat from Cheryl Bollinger. Wild first inning. Bollinger's online from San Diego. And what can I say? I called it. I said Groton, New York, and San Diego, California. I told you we were going to get the full range, both coasts of the continental United States out here today. And it's wild because sometimes we get folks even tuning in from different countries for some of these live streams. I was covering volleyball yesterday, and we had someone tuning in from Guangzhou, China. So that was something else. And then one of our frequent fans for sports like ice hockey and lacrosse tunes in from Australia, so we get them from all over. Starting the bottom of the first now, leading off for Brookline, the center fielder and co-captain number 9, Elias Brendel. First pitch is low for ball 1. Elias Brendel, you can see his stats for the season so far just above our sponsor logo there. Swing and miss there, strike 1. Brendel so far this season with a batting average of 133, but an impressive on-base percentage of 409 and a slugging percentage of 200. He's got a team-leading 7 walks to go with 1 steal and 3 runs scored, but now is back against the wall at 1-2. That one gonna miss low for ball 2. So yeah, you'll start seeing me implementing full slash lines here. My rule is once you reach 20 plate appearances, you qualify for me to show your slash line numbers. So then you know, that can determine who is leading in those certain averages for the team. Full count now to Brendel. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Brendel gives it a battle, but goes down on strikes. Now batting the second baseman, number 14, Hugh Bollinger. Funny enough, both teams have the player playing second also batting second today. Funny little coincidence. Bollinger's stats so far this season, a slash line of 150, 190, 150, with a team leading 3 steals and a team leading 4 RBI. So, hasn't had the best rate of getting on base, but when he gets the ball right, he makes it count as he fouls that one off to stay alive, 0-2. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Chagnon, as he's off to a good start here in the bottom of the first. Now batting for Brookline, the catcher, number 8, the assistant captain, Felix Hom. First pitch catches the low corner, strike 1. Hom with a slash line of 118, 318, 176, 1 RBI. As that one just low for ball 1. Hom would probably have more runs scored, but as the catcher, he's typically not the one running the bases after he gets on base, as they bring in a courtesy runner. Hard contact here. It's a roller over to short, fielded cleanly, thrown to first, and a ground out to short ends the inning. And would you believe that that is just the second batted ball that we saw the entire first inning? We had a lot of strikeouts and a lot of free passes, and that one chaotic play on the base paths in the top of the first. But yeah, only one batter for each team has put the ball in play so far through the first inning. At the end of 1, our score, Framingham 1, Brookline 0. And folks, remember to check out the description section of this video down below, where you can see the link and phone number for our local sponsor, Esh Dental, as well as for our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Education Foundation. It's going to be the 6, 7, 8 hitters coming up for Framingham: Donato, Chagnon, and Saglimbeni. Framingham having graduated a large senior class last year, so we're seeing a lot of guys that did not play in last year's games against Brookline, but Jackson Donato, an exception to that rule, as he appeared in both games. In the first game against Brookline, he went 0 for 3 with a sac bunt. And then in the second game, 0 for 2 with a walk and an RBI. But all the rest of the batters due up this inning, no appearances. And in fact, outside of May and McAuliffe, no batting appearances from anyone against Brookline last year. Eli Hoffman back on the hill. First pitch, I believe, was in there for strike 1 to the center fielder, number 7, Jackson Donato. Ooh, did that one hit him or no? Just missed. Close to a hit by pitch there. This one popped up. It's playable in foul territory, but could not be tracked down by either Hom or Rosenblatt, so it'll simply be strike 2. One and two, the count to Donato. And that's going to be a high ball, too. And he skies this one foul down the left field side, out of play. Stays alive at 2 and 2. Hoffman putting balls in the zone a little more frequently to start this inning. Fouls off another one. Donato giving Hoffman a battle here, not going down easily. Count still 2 and 2. And that one's, oh, that was ball 4. I must have missed a called ball there. Maybe the first pitch was a ball and I just thought it was a strike because the ump made a noise. Whatever it is, it's a leadoff walk for Jackson Donato. Now batting the pitcher, number 4, Michael Chagnon. Runner taking off on the first pitch. It's in there for a strike, and they got the runner at second. What a beautiful throw by Felix Hom, and an excellent catch and tag by Jimmy DiPaolo. So that's a big momentum swing for Brookline, as once again, trouble on the base paths comes back to haunt Framingham, but you can't blame them for sending a runner there. The aggressive base running is the main reason they've got a run on the board to begin with. As that one's going to miss low and away for ball 1. Count is 1 and 2 to Chagnon. That one, I guess, just missed. 2 and 2 the count. That one in there, strike 3. 2 down in the inning now as Hoffman picks up his second K of the day. Now batting the catcher, number 23, Franco Saglimbeni. And that one came off the hand wrong, high ball 1. Hoffman trying to bring the fastball there and just a little too high. Breaking ball breaks nicely there to hit the high corner. Strike 1. That one misses to the outside, ball 1. Looks like Hoffman's gone fastball, cut fastball, fastball so far. Tries to cut him again, but this time he doesn't bite as that drops low for ball 3. Swing and a miss there, and we've got a full count. Saglin-Benny with 2 outs and the base is empty. And fouls off, stays alive. Framingham making Hoffman work for these outs so far today. Count still full. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got the fastball by him and gets out of the inning unscathed this time. Finishing on back-to-back strikeouts. We move to the bottom of the 2nd inning with Framingham still leading Brookline 1-0. Due up will be the 4, 5, 6 hitters for Brookline: DiPaolo, Rosenblatt, and Eli Hoffman. Michael Chagnon back on the mound after a strong first inning, putting the Brookline hitters down in order, including 2 strikeouts. Don't know how much you guys can hear through my mic, but we got some winds gusting through here at Warren Field. As leading off for the Warriors here, the shortstop, number 22, Jimmy DiPaolo. First pitch, pops it up into shallow right, playable, and a leaping grab made by the second baseman, Noah Sonnenberg. And we start off the inning with a defensive highlight. Now batting, making his first plate appearance of 2025, the first baseman, number 21, Adam Rosenblatt. First pitch going to catch the low corner for strike 1. You can see those are Rosenblatt's numbers from last year, as that one misses. Rosenblatt finished the 2024 season with a batting average of .286, a team high on base percentage of .483, and a .381 slugging percentage. Had a triple, as well as 4 runs scored and 2 RBIs. He played kind of a platoon role at first base. Fouls that one off there for strike 2. Hits a grounder over to first. It's fielded at first. It's going to be a chase to the bag, and he beats it. Adam Rosenblatt starts off his 2025 campaign with an infield single. Good hustle up that first base line, as we have our first base hit from either team today. With that infield single, now batting for Brookline, the pitcher, number 18, Eli Hoffman. First pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. The younger Hoffman brother, 3 for 16 at the plate so far this season. 1 double, 1 walk, 2 hit by pitches, 1 run, and 2 RBI. Swing and a miss there, strike 2. I mentioned before how you have to have at least 20 plate appearances before I start displaying your slash line stats. This is plate appearance number 20 for Hoffman as he takes a low ball one there. That's another low one, ball two. One thing that's important to keep an eye on is the battle at first base. Michael Chagnon, a lefty, which means he's going to have a quick pickoff throw to first, so Rosenblatt has to be careful. As that one misses again, and Eli Hoffman goes from an 0-2 count to a full count here. And he tips it into the glove for strike three. Chagnon recovers his control just in time to get that second out and his third strikeout of the day. Now batting, the right fielder, number 20, Connor Fitzgerald. Takes the first pitch for strike one. Fitzgerald had an explosive day at the plate in Brookline's win against Needham last week. That accounts for most of his positive stats on his line here as he lifts that one into left center. That's going to drop in for a 2-out single. Connor Fitzgerald with his 5th base hit of the season there. Good contact on that one. Puts 2 runners on, including one in scoring position as up comes the third baseman and co-captain, number 15, Owen Hoffman. First pitch and he chases it low for strike one. Hoffman so far this season 3 for 15 with 1 walk, a hit by pitch, 2 runs scored, and 3 RBI. As he swings and misses at that one for strike two. Trying to make something happen with 2 runners on and 2 out. That one low for ball one. And he chases that one low for strike three. It did bounce in the dirt, so he started to take off. But the tag applied by Saglin Benny. And that will end the inning. Brookline gets the first 2 base hits of the game, but cannot bring the runners home. As 2 more strikeouts by Chagnon limit what Brookline's offense was able to do. At the end of 2, our score still Framingham 1, Brookline 0. Once again, want to thank our sponsor for today, Esch Dental. Do you have a tooth that just doesn't look right in photos, too far out, too far back, or one that prevents you from showing that smile at all? The team at Esch Dental has everything you need to get that smile perfectly aligned. Their average Invisalign case lasts about 9 months, and the treatment is practically invisible compared to metal braces. Adults and teens alike get their teeth straightened and their bites aligned with Esch Dental. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eschdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to eashdental.com. You can find all that information in the description section down below. For Framingham here in the 3rd inning, it'll be the 9-1-2 hitters coming up, Jessman, McAuliffe, and Sonnenberg. Leading off, the last batter to face Eli Hoffman for the first time, the left fielder, number 1, Charlie Jessman. First pitch swung on and missed, fooled him with the off-speed there, strike one. That one gonna miss outside ball 1. Got a couple nice notes in the live chat celebrating Adam Rosenblatt's return to the lineup and his infield single from last inning. A couple of Brookline High baseball alums from the class of 2024 in Keenan Sawada and older brother Ben Rosenblatt. As that one is in there for strike 2 to Jessman. That one just lost control of it, skips in the dirt, ball 2. Heavy gusts blowing through here again at Warren Field. As Jessman chases that one high and fouls it off. Stays alive at 2-2. You know, when you get a bad read on a ball, and you got 2 strikes, you just got to do everything you can to get the bat on the ball, and that's what Jessman did there. That one misses inside. Full count now. Eli Hoffman's had a lot of long plate appearances against the Framingham hitters here as he's struggled with his control. And that's going to be the 3rd straight leadoff free pass for Framingham as Jessman trots down to first. Now batting the first baseman, number 22, Ryan McAuliffe. McAuliffe got hit by a pitch on the first pitch of the game back in the top of the first. Later came in to score on a double steal. First pitch is going to miss inside, ball 1. That one skips in the dirt, ball 2. Pickoff throw. They tried to throw off Jessman's timing as he was sort of walking away from the base into his lead spot. But he saw the throw coming and gets back safe. That throw in the zone, strike 1. And I like to see that, you know, you don't necessarily have to paint the corners, just get something over the plate, you know, recalibrate yourself and get back in the groove. Not on that pitch as it skips in the dirt for ball 3. Good block by Felix Hom behind the plate as anything gets past him, and Jessman is going to take second. But one more ball and he's going to get to go to second anyhow. And that's what he's going to do as McAuliffe takes ball 4 for his second free pass of the day and the second straight free pass to start this 3rd inning. Hoffman needs to do something to get back in control of his stuff. As coming to the plate now, the second baseman, number 5, Noah Sonnenberg. The corner infielders up on the grass in anticipation of a potential sacrifice bunt. And he's showing bunt, pulls it back, and they're going to say that's a strike. As I guess they're saying that he didn't pull the bat back fast enough on that high fastball from Hoffman, so 0-1 the count. Sonnenberg trying to move the runners, but not showing bunt on that one as it misses low and in for ball 1. Shows bunt again, misses, strike 2. And that's a big strike 2 get for Hoffman because now Sonnenberg isn't going to go for the bunt because if he fouls it off, it would be a strikeout. And a wild pitch is going to allow the runners to advance anyway. And boy, that's a rough reversal of fortune for Brookline. You prevent the sac bunt with 2 strike throws, and then a wild pitch allows the runners to advance anyway, and now gives the batter a chance to try and hit those runners in as they both stand in scoring position with nobody out. I mean, second and third with no outs is about as tough a position as you can be in as a pitcher. You know, I would venture to say even tougher than bases loaded with nobody out, because with bases loaded, you've got a force everywhere. You can turn a double play with a grounder to the middle infield. You can, get a fielder's choice at home for any other infield groundouts to prevent the run. But with second and third and nobody out, not only do you have 2 runners in scoring position, the only force play you have is at first base. So this is a really tough spot for the Brookline defense to be in, and their whole infield is going to be pulled in so that they can try and make a quick throw home if Sonnenberg hits a grounder to the infield. The count is 2-2. Hoffman is still 1 strike away from getting the first out of this third inning. But he skips it in the dirt again, ball 3. Well blocked again by Hom, as another wild pitch could potentially bring in a run for the Flyers. Swing and a miss. And a big strike 3 for Eli Hoffman. And now with 1 out and runners at second and third, up comes the right fielder, number 8, Pete May. Chases the breaking ball there, strike 1. Just got fooled completely there as that one dropped off the table. May, his last time up, grounded out to the pitcher in what turned into a very weird double play on the base paths as he slices that one foul for strike 2. And he lifts this one out to the outfield. This looks like going to be a sac fly. Caught in center by Elias Brendel. Rifles it back into the infield. And the run is going to come home. But they apply the tag at second and end the inning. Once again, Brookline quick to catch runners on the base paths. But that said, a run is going to come home as Pete May hits the sac fly to center to drive in Charlie Jessman. Ryan McAuliffe this time caught between second and third as he was expecting Brookline to go all the way home with their throws and then he could take third in the chaos. But the cutoff man, I think, was Adam Rosenblatt there. Held the ball, did not go for home, saw that McAuliffe was still kind of cheating off second, and threw it back to second to get the runner and end the inning. But Framingham still able to get a run across. As we go into the bottom of the third, with the Flyers leading the Warriors 2-0. Brookline has got to start getting some offense going to try and support Hoffman here. Chagnon back on the mound for his third inning of work. Allowed 2 base hits last inning, but no damage done on the scoreboard. It'll be the 9-1-2 hitters for Brookline, Chin, Brendel, and Bollinger. Leading off The left fielder, number 5, Devin Chin. Chin so far this season 1 for 9 with 2 walks and a run scored, as that one inside for ball 1. We've seen 1 infield single for the Warriors so far. Devin Chin, the speedster, specialist of getting those infield hits as he takes strike 1 there. In fact, the third baseman, Morales, pulled in on the infield grass to try and account for that, as that one drops low for ball 2. In contrast to all the free passes that the Framingham hitters have gotten so far this game, Brookline hasn't gotten any free passes down to first yet. But Chin now close as he takes a high ball 3. But that one is going to hit the zone for strike 2. It's a full count to start here in the bottom of the third. Chagnon's been pitching well with his payoff pitches so far today. And Chin hits a high bouncer over to third, fielded by Morales. Throw to first, beats Chin to the bag for out number 1. With the slow high bouncer, you thought maybe Chin had a chance there, but bounced just a little too fast. 1 out, and we cycle back to the top of the order with the center fielder, number 9, Elias Brendel. Takes that one low and away, ball 1. Brendel went down on strikes his last time up after a long battle that saw him get to a full count. Takes a low, ball 2 there. That one gonna hit the zone, strike 1. And that one in the zone for strike 2. Chagnon bouncing back, gets Brendel to a 2-2 count. But that one flew off his hand completely wrong, ball 3. Full count once again to Brendel. And this time skips it in the dirt, and Brendel gets the first walk of the day for Brookline. A runner at first now as up comes the second baseman, number 14, Hugh Bollinger. Bollinger went down on strikes his last time up. First pitch, high and away for ball 1, well covered by Saglin Benny behind the plate for the Flyers. We've said it before, once there are runners on base, if anything gets past the catcher, they're moving along those base paths. Is that one outside again for ball 2. These throws almost look like pitch outs from Chagnon. And the coach going to come out to talk with his pitcher. Understandable timing for a mound meeting here. Just refocus your pitcher. Just tell him, hey, we're up 2, and you've been dealing so far. Don't get nervous just because you allowed 1 walk. Don't let your stuff get away from you. You know, at this high school level, having a pitcher stay in the groove and stay throwing strikes consistently can be so tough. And so when you've got a guy who's been able to throw strikes, you don't want to let him get away from that. Bollinger fouls that one off the backstop, strike 1. And as a coach, that's exactly what you want to see after that mound meeting. Two and 1 the count. Brendel takes off, and they try to pick off throw, and it got away, and Brendel is going to race all the way down to third. Elias Brendel, in a similar fashion to what we saw with Ryan McAuliffe in the first inning, took off, was caught on the pickoff throw, but because he got such a good jump, and in this case because of the throwing error, he gets to go all the way to third. That one inside for ball 3 to Bollinger. Brendel 90 feet away from giving Brookline their first run of the day. And Bollinger is going to get a free pass down to first. So runners at the corners now with 1 out in the inning. Don't be surprised if they send Bollinger to second. Remember, he leads the team in steals so far this season with 3. At the plate now, the catcher, number 8, Felix Hom. First pitch, and he rockets one out to right center. That's going to bounce through the gap. That's going to bring in at least one. Bollinger on his horse, down to third, holds at third. Felix Hom with the RBI double to get Brookline on the board. Swings like that are exactly why Brookline has Felix Hom at that spot in the order, right in the heart of things where you want your most potentially dangerous hitters. And now another meeting at the mound as Brookline threatening to potentially tie this game. In the meantime, a courtesy runner being sent down to second in Hom's place. I mentioned before that Hom would have more runs scored to his name on his offensive stats, but as a catcher, he frequently gets subbed out for a courtesy runner because the whole idea of that is that as a catcher, you need to keep your legs fresh. I mean, you're spending the whole day in a squatting position that's just murder on your legs. You want to be able to pop up fast into a standing position and make a hard throw down to second when a runner tries to steal. You know, your job as a catcher, and particularly at your base with your legs, it's so important. You know, that's part of why you don't see a lot of catchers that steal a lot of bases. You know, Jason Kendall was kind of an anomaly during his day in the 90s and aughts. You don't see a lot of catchers stealing runs, and that's why at the high school level they allow for courtesy runners. And we're actually going to have a pitching change here. Number 2, Harry Barnett, taking over on the mound for Chagnon. And so Chagnon, having pitched 2 1/3, he allowed 1 earned run, as even without the throwing error on the pickoff attempt, Hom's double to right center still would have scored Brendel because he would have been at least at second after Bollinger's walk. You know, you can argue whether they would have got him on the pickoff throw if the throw hadn't missed, but I don't think that's not something that you can fully say, oh, this run scored with the aid of an error. So I would give that an earned run mark on that one personally. And then, of course, 2 inherited runners left on the base path. So if Bollinger and or Wycar scores, as I forgot to mention, the courtesy runner for Felix Hom is number 6, Rasik Wycar. If either or both of those runners score, that's going to be credited to Chagnon. So while Chagnon leaves with a no decision, if both of these runners score and Brookline takes a 3-2 lead, then Chagnon could, in an instant, become the pitcher potentially on hook for the loss. We'll see how Barnett handles things out of the bullpen. Now batting for Brookline, the shortstop, number 22, Jimmy DiPaolo. DiPaolo popped out to the second baseman in shallow right, and they're going to give him an intentional walk. An intentional walk to start here. And it's going to be the man making his 2025 debut today, coming up with the bases juiced and one out. The first baseman, number 21, Adam Rosenblatt. First pitch gets away, and the runners decide to hold. Bollinger playing it cautiously at third. You know, not entirely sure if I agree with the decision there, but once you make a decision not to go, it's best to commit to it. So in that regard, I agree with the decision not to go. Another one drops low, ball 2. And I can kind of understand in this situation, you've got a guy who's got a good eye, good at getting walks with the bases loaded. You know, you don't necessarily want to risk things. As that one skips in, well blocked by Saglimbeni this time, but a 3-0 count to Adam Rosenblatt. Another factor in Brookline's favor here is that relief pitchers often have such a tough time getting control of their pitches down, especially when they come in a tough situation like this. And it's going to be a 4-pitch walk for Adam Rosenblatt to tie up this ball game. Hugh Bollinger in to score, and we're knotted up at 2 apiece. Now batting the pitcher, number 18, Eli Hoffman, trying to help out his own cause and give his team the lead here. First pitch curves in, strike 1. Ooh, he gets beaned. And the bases loaded hit by pitch is what is going to give Brookline the lead as Eli Hoffman trots down to first and Rasik Waikar trots home. Brookline now on top 3-2. Up comes the right fielder, number 20, Connor Fitzgerald. First pitch going to miss to the outside, ball 1. And you see, this is exactly what I was talking about with how tough it is to be a relief pitcher at the high school level. You come in the middle of an inning in such a tough, tight situation, and you have to find your pitching control instantly, basically. There's no room for error. And there, the lack of control comes back to bite Framingham. Fitzgerald rockets one out to center. Center fielder tracking it. He's going to catch it. Runner's going to tag and head for home. DiPaolo in to score on the sac fly by Connor Fitzgerald. So 2 down, but a third run comes home for the a fourth run this inning comes home for the Warriors. Now batting the third baseman, number 15, Owen Hoffman. First pitch blocked well by Saglimbeni as it skips in the dirt. Whoops, for ball 1. Checks his swing there for a low ball 2. They throw back to third to check on Rosenblatt. 2-0 the count to Hoffman. He went down on strikes to end the second inning. As that one comes in high for ball 3. A 3-0 count. That one hits the zone, strike 1. Hoffman taking that pitch all the way as it's a 3-1 count now. Still a chance to walk in, load the bases. Eli Hoffman takes off, strike 2, throw down to second. Now a throw to the plate, and Rosenblatt dives in as the ball got away, and Hoffman gonna take third in the chaos, and he thought about taking off. Boy, can you imagine if 2 runs had come in on that play, but it's just 1 as Adam Rosenblatt comes home on the double steal. Adam Rosenblatt displaying his wheels here in his 2025 debut. And that's going to be ball 4. Owen Hoffman trots down to first. The Hoffman brothers on the corners here with 2 down, as Brookline has now batted all the way around the order this inning, as we're back to the left fielder, number 5, Devin Chin. Takes strike 1 there. Chin started this inning off with a ground out to third for the first out of the inning. Now up for the second time this inning. Shows bunt, lays it down up the third base line. They're going for the squeeze, and they bring him in. Devin Chin with an RBI squeeze bunt, and Owen Hoffman takes advantage and takes third as no one was covering. How else would Devin Chin get his first varsity career RBI than on a squeeze bunt? The speedster specialist drives in Eli Hoffman with a beautifully laid bunt up the third base line. Now with runners still on the corners, we go back to Elias Brendel, who almost gets hit. Pickoff throw back to first. Chin gets back. It's going to be ball 1. Brendel earlier this inning, he drew a walk, later came in to score on Felix Ham's double. That one catches the inside corner, strike 1. 1-1 the count to Brendel. Chin takes off, and Brendel skies one. Out center field, center fielder can't catch it! 2 runs coming in as Chin wheels around third. Brendel wheeling around second, heading down to third. Dives in, safe. Elias Brendel puts 2 more runs on the board for the Warriors. And I think they're going to score that one as a triple for Brendel. They might potentially score it as an E8. You know, it'll depend on the scorekeeper, and I'm going to check that on Game Changer later tonight. But Owen Hoffman and Devin Chin both in to score. As it's now an 8-2 lead, and we're going to see another pitching change. A tough inning for Harry Barnett out of the bullpen. As now on the mound is number 27, Simon Nislik. As it stands, Michael Chaganon is still the pitcher, potentially on credit for the loss, as the first 3 runs that Brookline scored this inning were all credited to him. Barnett, meanwhile, having allowed 5 runs and potentially a 6th, with Brendel still standing at third. And again, depending on whether they score that as a triple for Brendel, which I think is what I would score it as, but you know, I've had other plays this season where I thought, oh, that's a hit. No, it's a reach on error. Or, oh, that's a reach on error. No, that's a hit. So that's why I never say definitively when it comes to that. But if it's a triple, then 5 earned runs so far for Barnett. If it's scored as an error, then that's 3 earned runs and 2 unearned runs. And again, potentially 1 more, as Brendel, the inherited runner for Nislik, who will now be facing the Brookline second baseman, number 14, Hugh Bollinger. First pitch low for ball 1. Bollinger drew a walk earlier this inning, came in to score on the bases-loaded walk by Adam Rosenblatt, as he takes that one inside for ball 2. And he chops that one high in the infield. Got to watch the wind, but it is caught at short, and the inning finally comes to an end. Brookline lights it up in the 3rd inning, and at the end of 3, our score, Brookline 8, Framingham 2. And now Eli Hoffman is not actually going to come back out on the mound, looks like. We're going to have a pitching change out here in the 4th inning for Brookline. Taking over on the mound in place of Eli Hoffman is going to be number 10, Ben Cody. Now, Eli Hoffman was also listed as a designated hitter, which means he can stay in the batting order as a DH, even though he has been subbed out of the field. And so Ben Cody can take over just on the mound and not have to take over in the batting order. You can see Ben Cody's pitching stats so far this season. He's made 4 previous relief appearances for Brookline with 1 save. He has pitched 9.1 innings through those first 4 appearances, has an ERA of 3.00 with a whip of 1.71 and 5 strikeouts. So overall, pretty solid on the mound out of the as a reliever for Brookline, and he comes in with a sizable run advantage for Brookline. But important to note that Eli Hoffman, as the starter, he cannot be credited for the win, even though he was the pitcher on credit when Brookline took the lead, because as a starter you have to pitch at least 4 innings before you can qualify for the pitching win. Hoffman only lasts 3 innings, so this will go down as a no decision for him. Cody with a chance to get the pitching win here, depending on how long he pitches out of the pen, is typically in a situation where the starter would be on credit for the win but didn't pitch enough innings. It goes to the reliever who pitches long enough, or pitches not long, but pitches the longest. Cody will be facing the 4, 5, 6 hitters for Framingham, starting off with the shortstop, number 6, Jack Maud. First pitch from Cody in the zone for strike 1. Maud, his last time up, drew a walk, stole second but was left stranded. That one drops in the dirt for what I believe is ball 2. And this one lifted out to right center. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Jack Maud leads off the inning with a single to right center. And Jack Maud is going to have a pinch runner come in his place. Rare you see that for a shortstop, but they're going to have number 3, Tyler Curtis, take his spot at first. You know, you are allowed a one-time, I think it is, a one-time pinch runner substitution that you can undo and put the same guy back in the batting order, as this one lifted out to left center, but caught by a racing Devin Chin, covers the gap well for out number 1, as that looked like it was going to be a surefire hit for Connor Walsh. But instead, a big first out get, as 2 big swings from the Framingham hitters could have potentially rattled Ben Cody on the mound if the big catch hadn't been made there. And we got a breaking ball for strike 1 to the center fielder, number 7, Jackson Donato. And I see now why they've subbed Maud off the base paths. They've got him warming up in the bullpen to take over on the mound next inning, as a big swing and a miss there for strike 2. And you can see with that little surprise there, tripod almost blew over, just how powerful the winds are today. This one lifted into center field. Brendel tracking it, has the catch for out number 2. The wind not bothering the Brookline outfielders in this inning, as 2 down now. And you see, this is the advantage to you know, you just keep throwing strikes, even if you know, even if you get you give up contact, even hard contact, there's a chance your fielders are going to make a play. Pickoff throw down to first. Ooh, they say he didn't get the tag down, as Curtis dives back safe. At the plate for Framingham is the pitcher, number 27, Simon Nislik, as that one curves in, and I believe that is strike 2, as he fouled off the first pitch. So 1-2, the count to Nislik. That one misses low and away, and Nislik does not bite on the breaking ball, ball 2. This one popped high. Rosenblatt tracking it over his shoulder and makes the catch. Welcome back, Adam Rosenblatt. He's having a pretty nice day today in his return to the lineup after missing the first few games of 2025. Makes a nice grab there to finish the top of the 4th. We move to the bottom of the 4th now. Brookline still leading Framingham 8-2. Due up for Brookline in the bottom of the 4th will be the 3, 4, 5 hitters, Hom, DePaulo, and Rosenblatt. And indeed, Jack Maud going to take over on the mound for Framingham. They're going to move Sonnenberg to short, and number 9, Nick DeRosa, will take over at second. So my guess is DeRosa will take Neslick's spot in the batting order. As Neslick subs out, having pitched a third of an inning. Leading off for Brookline here in the bottom of the fourth, the catcher, number 8, Felix Hom. First pitch from Maud curves in for strike one. Hom 1 for 2 so far today, grounded out to short his first time up. Got an RBI double to right center last inning, as that one misses outside for ball one. His courtesy runner came in to score later that same inning, back in the third, as he takes that one high for ball two. That one over his head, ball three. That came really close to hitting his bat, which would have counted as a foul ball if it had. Hits a hard grounder up the middle, past shortstop into center field. Felix Hom with his second hit of the day, getting the leadoff single there. In comes the courtesy runner, Waikar. Now batting, the shortstop, number 22, Jimmy DiPaolo. DiPaolo was intentionally walked his last time up. Takes an inside strike one there. He came in to score on the sac fly by Connor Fitzgerald. That one hangs high for ball one. 1-1 the count. Waikar at first. Nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth. DiPaolo slices that one out of play. Strike two. That one skips in the dirt, well blocked by Saglin Benny to keep Waikar at first. Ball two. DiPaolo hits a high bouncer to third, fielded well by Morales, goes to second. They get him in time, and it's going to be a simple 5-4 fielder's choice. Gutsy decision by Carlos Morales, throwing across his body to get the lead runner there, but it pays off, as it'll be one out with the runner at first. Now up the first baseman, number 21, Adam Rosenblatt. Skies the first pitch he sees in the outfield. Caught by McAuliffe at first for out number two. Now batting, the designated hitter, number 18, Eli Hoffman. Last time up, he got a bases-loaded hit by pitch. And now a wild pitch is going to send Apollo down to second. That one hits the zone for strike one. That one misses for ball two. Hoffman has yet to put a ball in play through his first two plate appearances, a strikeout and a hit by pitch. High ball three there. Did he check his swing? He did not. Full count now to Hoffman. And inside ball four. Eli Hoffman, his second free pass of the day. Now coming up, the right fielder, number 20, Connor Fitzgerald. Runners at first and second, two down. And he skies the first pitch out to left. Left fielder tracking it and has it for out number three. Brookline gets two runners on, but cannot add to their lead. And at the end of four, our score, Brookline 8, Framingham 2. During this break between the fourth and fifth innings, I'd like to once again thank our local sponsor, Esch Dental. Do you have a tooth that's been worked on once, twice, three times, and it's still giving you problems? Have you been told it's time to give up the fight on that tooth and have it extracted? Hey, it happens to a lot of us. Dr. Esch performs a multitude of procedures to get that infected tooth out and an implant in. All of Dr. Esch's implants are digitally guided, which means the surgery takes place on a digital model of your jaw, even before your appointment. Digital implant placement is the safest, fastest, most predictable way to turn that problem tooth into a fixed and beautiful solution. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eschdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to eashdental.com. All that information in the description section down below. Ben Cody back on the mound for his second inning of relief here in the top of the fifth. He'll be facing the 8-9-1 hitters for Framingham, Saglimbeni, Jessman, and McAuliffe. Leading off, the catcher, number 23, Franco Saglimbeni, as he takes strike one there. That one skips in the dirt for ball one. Saglimbeni went down on strikes his last time up back in the second inning. Chases that one. Strike two. And chops that one foul. Stays alive at 1-2. Chases the breaking ball again. Strike three. Ben Cody starts the inning off with a K. 1 down. Now batting, the left fielder, number 1, Charlie Jessman. Jessman drew a walk his last time up. First pitch hits a grounder, fielded by Hoffman at third, thrown across to Rosenblatt for out number 2. Truly, one of the great things about Owen Hoffman as a player is his versatility on the defensive side. He's a capable pitcher, a capable outfielder, and a capable infielder. I've seen him play just about everywhere except catcher over his years playing for Brookline. Now we're back at the top of the order. The first baseman, number 22, Ryan McAuliffe. First 2 pitches from Cody miss for a 2-0 count. McAuliffe 0 for 0 with a hit by pitch, a walk, and 1 run scored as he takes ball 3 there. And boy, he might go through 3 plate appearances without a single at-bat at this rate. That one hits the zone though, strike 1. But that one hangs high and ball 4. 3 free passes on the day for Ryan McAuliffe, as the Brookline pitchers just can't seem to find their control when pitching to him. Now batting, the shortstop, number 5, Noah Sonnenberg. First pitch gonna miss high there, ball 1. Sonnenberg went down on strikes his last time up. Before that, drew a walk back in the first, so he's 0 for 1 so far. Makes contact here, and that's going to be lifted out to shallow right for a single. Framingham starting to put runners on the bases here with 2 down in the top of the 5th. Now batting, the right fielder, number 8, Pete May. May 0 for 1 so far. He has grounded out and hit a sac fly as he takes strike 1 there. Drove in the most recent run scored by the Flyers. Tips that one, strike 2. McAuliffe at second, Sonnenberg at first. 2 down here in the top of the 5th. Brookline leading Framingham 8-2. And he makes contact, but sends it foul at the first base side. Stays alive with the defensive swing, 0-2. And he hits a grounder there over to short, fielded by DiPaolo. Throw to first in time for out number 3. Framingham gets a couple of players on the bases, but not able to move them along. We go to the bottom of the 5th, with Brookline still leading 8-2. Maud gonna go back on the mound for his second inning of relief after taking over back in the 4th. He'll be facing the 8-9-1 hitters for Brookline, Owen Hoffman, Devin Chin, and Elias Brendel. Leading off for Brookline here in the bottom of the fifth, the third baseman, number 15, Owen Hoffman. That first pitch from Maud misses outside, ball 1. Hoffman 0 for 1 so far today with a strikeout and a walk, and he lifts a deep shot out to center, but it's tracked well by Donato for out number 1. Good contact, just needed to be sending that one somewhere other than straightaway center field. Now batting, the left fielder, number 5, Devin Chin. Takes high, ball 1. Chin 1 for 2 so far today. Both of his previous at-bats coming in that big third inning for Brookline. Grounded out to third to start that inning, and then also had an RBI squeeze bunt where he reached first and then later came in to score. That one does catch the inside corner. Strike 1, 2-1 the count. Hits a grounder up the middle, fielded by the shortstop. Sonnenberg throws to first in time for out number 2. Two down, and up comes the center fielder, number 9, Elias Brendel. First pitch comes in high, ball 1. Brendel 1 for 2 so far today with a strikeout, a walk, and what I'm, for the moment, scoring as a 2-run triple. Takes high, ball 2 there. Ball got away from the pitcher on the exchange there. Matters little with no runners on the bases. And a high, ball 3. Maud's control starting to get away from him a little bit. And that's going to be ball 4. A 4-pitch, 2-out walk to Brendel. As he adds to his team-leading walk count, he's now up to 9 this season. Now batting, the second baseman, number 14, Hugh Bollinger. Bollinger 0 for 2 so far today. A strikeout, a pop-out, a walk, and a run scored. Swing and a miss there, strike 1. Hits a chopper, juggled by Morales, throws to second and misses, and Brendel's going to take off for third. Bollinger might have been able to reach clean on that play if it wasn't for the potential fielder's choice. But for now, I'm going to score that as an E5. That's another one I'm going to double check when I get home today. But between the bobble at third and the missed throw to second, I feel like you kind of have to score that as a reach-on error with 2 outs. Now batting the catcher, number 8, Felix Hom, as he tips off the first pitch. Strike 1. Hom 2 for 3 so far today with a ground out, an RBI double, and a single. And That one well blocked by Saglin Benny behind the plate as it skips in for ball one. Bollinger takes off for second, pitches in for a strike. Bollinger easily takes second base despite the throwdown. He comes in standing up. Adds to his team leading steal count there. Second and third now, 1 and 2, the count to Hom. That pitch gonna miss outside, ball two. If Hom can get a third base hit here, he could get 2 more RBI on the day and get Brookline up to double digits. And reaches out, hits a grounder over to third, fielded by Morales. Throw to first is taken by McAuliffe for out number 3. Brookline threatens but cannot score. And at the end of 5, the score is still Brookline 8, Framingham 2. All 8 of Brookline's runs coming in that one explosive third inning. Remember, folks, be sure to check out the description section of this video where you can find a link and phone number for our local sponsor, Esch Dental in Coolidge Corner. And you can also find a link and phone number for our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Education Foundation. Moving to the top of the 6th, it's going to be the 4, 5, 6 hitters coming up for Framingham, Maud, Walsh, and Donato. Ben Cody back on the bump for his 3rd inning of relief work now. And if he finishes this inning, then it's all but guaranteed that Ben Cody would be the pitcher on credit for the win for Brookline. As I mentioned before, that Eli Hoffman, having only finished 3 innings of a 7-inning ball game, does not qualify for a pitching win as the starter. Ben Cody as the reliever, if he pitches the majority of the remaining innings, would qualify as the winning pitcher. And if he finishes this inning here, then I believe that would qualify him. And if so, that would be his first varsity career pitching win. Got his first varsity career save in the season opener against Waltham. Now trying to earn his first varsity career pitching win. Leading off for Framingham is their pitcher, number 6, Jack Maud, as that pitch drops low for ball 1. Fastball outside, ball 2. Maud, his last time up, got a single to lead off the top of the 4th. He was the first batter to face Cody, but now he pops one up, staying in the infield, and it's caught by Rosenblatt for out number 1. So Cody starts off his second trip through the Framingham batting order strong with an infield pop-out. Now batting, the designated hitter, number 20, Colin Walsh. Takes ball 1 there. Last time against Cody, Walsh flew out to left center. Reaches on that one and tips it for strike 1. Ben Cody is such a unique pitcher to face. Far from the fastest thrower, probably one of the slowest throwers you'll see at this level, as Walsh fouls that one off for strike 2. But He's got such movement and such precise placement on his pitches that it just completely throws you off. As that one is chopped in the infield, fielded by a charging Owen Hoffman, but the throw going to get away, and Walsh is going to race down to second on the play and get there on the E5. Bit of a tricky play for Hoffman, charging in and throwing across his body there, but still a play you've got to make. That's going to go down as an E5. Now batting the center fielder, number 7, Jackson Donato. First pitch hangs on Cody there, comes in well high for ball 1. And this one shot deep out to left towards the wall, and that's going to bring in Walsh for Framingham's first run in a number of innings as Jackson Donato gets the RBI double. Hard shot hit well to left. And with one out, still a runner at second as up comes what I believe is Nick DeRosa, second baseman. As he takes ball 1 there. And that's going to be a low ball 2. Runner at second, 1 out. Brookline leads by 5. And this is a grounder foul up the third base side, strike 2. That one hangs high, ball 3. Full count now. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Ben Cody to get the second out of the inning. As DeRosa goes down swinging there. Now batting the catcher, number 23, Franco Saglimbeni, as he takes an outside ball 1. Saglimbeni 0 for 2 so far today with a pair of strikeouts as he takes low ball 2 there. Donato still standing at second. As that one inside ball 3. And that's going to be a 4-pitch walk to Saglimbeni. It's 2 runners on now as up comes the left fielder, number 1, Charlie Jessman. First pitch is going to miss for ball 1. Briefly pops out the glove, but the runners hold. Jessman, his last time up, grounded out to third. And And he lifts one out to left center, outfielder on their horse, and Devin Chin makes the grab for out number 3. Framingham gets 1 run back. But that's all they could get. Going into the bottom of the 6th, Brookline leads Framingham 8-3. Mudd coming back on the mound. He's been strong out of the bullpen for Framingham so far today. 2 shutout innings since taking over in the bottom of the 4th. He'll be facing the 4, 5, 6 hitters for Brookline, DePaulo, Rosenblatt, and Eli Hoffman. So with DePaulo finishing 3 innings of relief, and he might come in, for a 4th. Excuse me. Might come in for a 4th inning of relief, but even if he doesn't, he'll be the pitcher on credit for the win, assuming Brookline holds on to this lead for 1 more inning. Leading off for the Warriors, the shortstop number 22, Jimmy DePaulo. First pitch inside, ball 1. DePaulo, his last time up, grounded into a fielder's choice. Fouls that one off for strike 1. Hits a chopper up the third base side and foul. DePaulo 0 for 2 so far today, with a pair of groundouts, an intentional walk, and a run scored. Slice that one foul, stays alive at 1-2. And that one skips away. Ball 2, 2-2 the count. And that's going to be a low, ball 3. DePaulo fights his way to a full count. And gets ball 4. DePaulo, his second free pass of the day. This time unintentional, as he trots down to first to start the bottom of the 6th. Now batting the first baseman, number 21, Adam Rosenblatt. And that one skips away, and DePaulo takes second on the wild pitch. Rosenblatt, excuse me. Last time up, Rosenblatt popped out to first. He is 1 for 2 so far today, with an infield single a bases-loaded walk for an RBI, a run scored on a double steal, and a pop out to first. Shows bunt, pulls back, takes strike one. 2-1 the count to Rosenblatt. Rosenblatt hits a slow roller up to first. This could be another infield single, but they flip to the pitcher, who was covering first well this time. And it'll be a 3-1 ground out, but Rosenblatt does successfully move DiPaolo to third. Now batting, the designated hitter, number 18, Eli Hoffman. Fouls that one off, strike one. Hoffman, his last time up, drew a walk. He is 0 for 1 so far today with a walk and a hit by pitch. A run scored and an RBI as he takes strike two there. Fouls that one off, stays alive. 0-2 still the count. One out, DiPaolo at third. And slice that one foul. Morales giving chase, and he's got it. Looked like it was going to be out of play, but it stays in play, and Morales makes a nice play over at third. 2 down. Now batting the right fielder, number 20, Connor Fitzgerald. And that pitch skips in the dirt. Great job covering by Saglin Benny as DiPaolo was getting ready to take off for third, but Saglin Benny somehow grabs that one. That one's going to be a high ball too. Fitzgerald 1 for 2 so far today. A single, a sac fly, and a fly out. Takes strike one there. That one curves into the zone, strike two. That one high and in, ball three. Full count, 2 outs. DiPaolo at third. And it's going to be ball four. Fitzgerald trots down to first with the free pass. Now coming to the plate, the third baseman, number 15, Owen Hoffman. Owen Hoffman 0 for 2 so far today. He has struck out, walked, and flown out. So 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Runners at the corners. Fitzgerald takes off immediately. A high ball, throw down to second. Fitzgerald slides in. Ball gets away to the outfield, and DiPaolo trots home. Score that one as a stolen base for Fitzgerald. DiPaolo scored scores on an E2, as he didn't take off until the ball got away. That's going to be a high ball 2 to Owen Hoffman, who could still put Brookline up into double digits if he gets a hit to the outfield. Potentially drives in Fitzgerald, but he takes a low ball 3 there. 3-0 count. Jack Maud trying to finish his 3rd inning of relief. He's given up 1 run that I would classify as unearned presently. That hits the zone for strike 1. A 3-1 count to Hoffman. And that one hits the zone for strike 2. Maud trying to come back from the 3-0 count. And that one's going to miss for ball 4. And you see, that's why, as a hitter, sometimes it pays to take those strikes when you get a 3-ball count, is you just give your opponent more chances to make a mistake. We've got a pinch hitter here. I think it's number 24, Lincoln Hafner. A bit tough to see from this angle, but he launches a shot deep out to center, and Donato is under it for out number 3 as Lincoln Hafner, pinch hitting for Devin Shin, flies out to end the 6th inning. Our score at the end of 6, Brookline 9, Framingham 3. During this break between the 6th and 7th innings, I would like to once again thank our sponsor, Esch Dental. Esch Dental in Coolidge Corner doesn't just focus on smile rehabilitation. Their real passion is smile preservation. If you are ready for a local, sophisticated, sole ownership dental office to take care of your 6-month cleanings, no need to look any further than Esch Dental. You can easily book online at eschdental.com or call 617-566-0103 to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, eashdental.com or call 617-566-0103. And boy, am I ready to get out of this wind once this game is over. Ben Cody back on the mound for his 4th inning of work out of the bullpen, trying to put the finishing touches on his first varsity career pitching win. It'll be the top of the order coming up for the Flyers: McAuliffe, Sonnenberg, and May. Leading off, the first baseman, number 22, Ryan McAuliffe. First pitch, high for ball 1. Another high pitch, ball 2. Hits a hard one up the middle for a leadoff single. Ryan McAuliffe, his first at-bat to count today, as he had 3 free passes, but in all 4 plate appearances, he reaches first base safely, as he is now 1 for 1 with 2 walks and a hit by pitch. Now batting the shortstop, number 5, Noah Sonnenberg, as he doesn't chase that one as it drops low for ball 1. Slices this one foul. Out of play for strike 1. That one comes in over his head for ball 2. And this one a hard hit, but right at Hugh Bollinger. Flips it to second for 1. On to first. In time. Oh my goodness. How about that for the 4-6-3 double play? Man, that is honestly one of the best hit double play balls I think I've ever seen. And it's kind of a shame for Noah Sonnenberg because he actually hit a really good ball there. But Hugh Bollinger just made a really great play in the gap to snag that one, and a great 360 turnaround to throw down to second, and DePaulo a quick hop off of second to make a quick throw to first, and Adam Rosenblatt with the stretch at first to complete the double play. A shot out to left now by Pete May is going to drop in fair. Or no, not by Pete May, as we got a pinch hitter in place of May, as that is number 17, Jimmy Bortolotti. Game continues on. As that pitch is going to come in way high for ball 1. And this one chopped foul for strike 1. At the plate is the pitcher, number 6, Jack Maud. Trying to keep this game going here with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. That one hits the outside corner, strike 2. The Flyers down to their final strike here. Brookline leading by 6. And gets a piece of it. Foul up the third base side. Count remains 1-2. Swing and a miss, and that is your ball game. Brookline wins. The final score here at Warren Field: the Brookline High Warriors 9, the Framingham High Flyers 3. Brookline got out to a bit of a shaky start defensively, giving up 2 runs in the first 3 innings, but then the bottom of the third, the Warriors exploded for an 8-run rally and never looked back. The Warriors improved to 4-3 on the season, while the Flyers fall to 0-7. And Ben Cody collects his first varsity career pitching win with 4 strong innings of relief. Well, that's going to do it for this one. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. Remember, if you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming baseball live streams. Spring break is coming up, but Brookline's got 2 games on the docket for that spring break week next week, so be sure to be on the lookout for those. Subscribing to the channel can help. Thank you One last time to our sponsor for today, Esh Dental. The team at Esh Dental understands dental anxiety. Some patients just need a friendly face to put them at ease. Others need the help of additional gases or medications to put them at ease. Dr. Esh and his team can help you wherever you are on the journey to find a solution to manage your anxiety. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eshdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to eashdental.com. You can find all that information in the description section down below. You can also find the link and phone number for our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Education Foundation, down there. You can also find down in the description section, as well as on the bottom right corner of your screen, some links related to me. My personal website, jessesports.com, where you can find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Or you can skip past all that and email me directly with any questions, requests, or comments you may have. And don't forget to follow me on social media on Instagram and Facebook, where I post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that's going to do it. Final score, Brookline 9, Framingham 3. From Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.